Hello everybody and welcome back to Coding with Kenny G. And this is episode 13 where we are continuing our work on moving our actors and displaying a move path. Now I thought that we could break it up a little bit and do some visual work as well, because right now we are painting these tiles in this ugly green color. But let's just do something different and actually create a particle system to display this move path once we have an actor selected. So it looks a little bit more interesting and you get to see a little bit different sort of stuff in this series. So let's create a particle system. There we go. Right click in the hierarchy and create a particle system. And we're going to put this at 0, 0, 0 position. For now we can just probably center this so that we see it a little bit in the game view while we work on it. Okay, so this guy is going to be played and stopped. First of all, we want to set pre-warm on because then it snaps on instantly once we press play, which is good. We want that. And let's reduce the speed of it to pretty much 0.1. So it's gonna move real slow. Just gonna drag it up so we see it in the game window. Start size. Let's make it pretty small. And start color. Okay, first of all, shape. So we're gonna emit this guy from a specific shape. I think it's gonna be a box. And when we see here down in the scene view, I want this to be real small on the y-axis. Oh, this guy is rotated, so I need to scale down the right axis. There we go, Z, to 0.1. So it's kind of thin, like this. And then we are not going to emit from the volume. We are going to emit from the edge, like so. Because then each particle kind of spawns on the edge of this shape here. Let's see. Down in the render section, we're gonna set render mode to horizontal billboard. So these guys are sort of flat. And let's see here. Doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. We need to change probably the lifetime of this to a little bit shorter, and I think we're gonna emit quite a few more particles, so in emission we change this to 50, and let's set color over lifetime to we start at alpha 0 and end at alpha 0, and then we're gonna have two keyframes that kind of fade in and fade out. So we fade into full. It's just gonna make the transitions a little bit softer. Then we can set the start and end color to a nice real saturated cyan color. Sorry, there we go. And cool. Let's see. These guys, they move a little bit upwards. We want to keep them kind of in position. Can we reduce the speed even more? Yeah. Let's say the start speed to 0.01. Now it's starting to look like something, even in the game view, but we need to, if I press play, let's see how it looks in the game. So I'm just gonna drag this guy down to a tile. And this is gonna have the same scale as the tile. That's the point. And okay, it looks fair enough, but I think we can juice this up a little bit more. So we're gonna add something called trails. It's in the trails section. Enable that. And something is freaking out because, yeah, we need to assign a trail material in the renderer module. Okay. In our hierarchy, in the materials folder, let's create a new folder called VFX. And inside of there, let's create a new material. And we're going to call this Movepath trail. So we need to change the shader up here. And I think what could work for this particular thing is a legacy shader. Just go into legacy shaders, and then we're gonna select particles, and then we're gonna select additive. That's it. I don't think we need to change anything more there. But we go back into the particle system, and down in the renderer section, we need to assign a trail material. So assign this one, trail material. Okay, our particle system is starting to look a little bit more, we see some of these lines here. These are what's called trails, but we're gonna try to modify how they look a little bit. So let's go into the trails, and we're gonna change it to something called ribbon. Now it just looks like everything is going crazy. That's because if we reduce the width of each trail, what they're doing is that they just try to draw a line render from one particle to another. And this looks kind of cool, but now it's very hard. We need to have some opacity and some color and stuff like that going on. So in the trails, we can say color over lifetime. That could be a gradient. And we're gonna soften out the transition so they start and end. Oops, delete that keyframe. Start and end at alpha 0, and then we add we soften them in and we soften them out. And the color, while let's see what happens when we press play. It does look a little bit wild. There's too much stuff going on. But we're getting there. So particle system, play, and in the trails. Oh, did that not get changed? Oh yeah. It does inherit the particle color, so that's fine. The width defines how wide each of these trails are. So we could do something like this, or we can make them thinner. And let's see here. I want to have this a little bit less opaque, probably. Let's try to reduce the general alpha of these trails. See if that works. It does help a little bit. And I think they're a bit too much right now. But this might look cool in the game, even though it looks kind of wild. So let's see here. If we place this guy over a tile, probably needs to be a little bit lower. Yeah, we're starting to get there. Let's see. Stretch, ribbon count, width over trail. It looks kind of cool in the game to have a little bit more width on this, and let's try to modify the lifetime. To a little bit higher, then it starts to look like it's glowing, and yeah, it's starting to look pretty cool actually. So let's say 3 in lifetime, and what was it, 1, and width over trail. Ooh, that was a bit too much. Yeah, 0.5. Cool. Maybe we should just start there and try to use this guy. This guy is not gonna be played on awake. This guy is gonna be started by us manually. We're gonna rename the particle system to Movepath Particles. There we go. Prefabs. Let's make a folder there called VFX Prefabs. Visual effects. Drag in the Movepath particles, and let's open up our tile prefab. See it in the scene view, and we're gonna add a child object under the tile. We're gonna drag and drop the VFX prefab we just made. So these Movepath particles, remember that we're now editing in prefab mode, and these Movepath particles, where are they? Ooh, they need to be reset to 0, 0. See here, and then I need to offset its position a little bit above the tile, so that we see it quite clearly in game. I think it's just probably something offset like this, I think. Okay, and finally the tile needs to know about this component. So we open up the tile script, and under this component references header we say public particle system Movepath particles. Let's tooltip it. The particle effect played when displaying a move path. And in order to communicate with this system, we are going to create some helper functions. So pretty much just a function to allow to turn this, or rather play this particle system and stop it. So we're just going to say public void play move path particles, and then parameter is bool state. Then we're gonna say Movepath particles dot play, or rather, yeah, we need to say if state, that is if it's on, then we say Movepath particles dot play, and else Movepath particles dot stop. Okay, we're going to save that script, and then we need to assign that component reference in our tile. So we drag in the Movepath particles, excuse me, there we go, Movepath particles, and let's, instead of painting the tile in actor selector, when we have received a legal move path, now we paint the tile, but instead of doing that, we ask each tile dot play move path particles true. And ideally, once we select the tile, we are going to fire off this particle system. So let's give it a try. Press play, and I still have my little mini formation up here. When I select this, there we go. We have a little bit of a move path displayed here. This can of course be made more shiny and a little bit more consistent. It might be a little bit hard to see. Oh, yeah. And when I press this guy, then we're also displaying this. So we're gonna fix that. Let's see how we are at time. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. We are now displaying the move path as a particle system, which is a little bit more cool. And we're also painting a tile when we're kind of in selection mode. So we have something to go on from here. I think that we're going to end the episode on this one. And then further on, we're going to allow to kind of deselect and select actors. And for example, if I press this guy first and I press this guy after, then I want to turn off this move path and only display this guy's move path. So we can fix that in the next episode. Alright, then I'll see you very soon.